Right, so we've got a truck coming up behind us, we've got a breakdown ahead, apparently, I don't know what the breakdown is, so the bus lane is out of bounds. So there was a video I was watching today, I think it was from Fife, and it was about I'll have to try and be as tactful as I can here how I say this. It's very difficult to talk about it without being sounding like a racist, but there's a little blue Nissan Micra in Fife videoed going down the outside lane of the dual carriageway, the A882. It's a very busy road if any of you have been on it, and it just stopped in the outside lane, and there's loads, there's like 150 comments on the post about how people had been stuck behind this car, not that day but like, you know, over the course of a few weeks, and it was driving straight through roundabouts without looking, you know, driving along at 30 mile an hour on a 70, and so they get comments like, oh, it was a lady with darker skin than what I've got, you know, or a better tan than me. So it's actually, it's quite clear what it is. It's a lady, who it is. It's a lady from Africa, and she's been invited here to this country to work as a care worker. Because there's all the comments, you read the comments, the lady is wearing, you know, she's got a uniform on to go to do care work, working for a care company. So it'll be a company that works for Fife Council. It'll be a private company, like the one I worked for. It's just like typical of how stupid a lot of the ideas are the government comes away with. That the first thing I think is a fundamental bad idea. I did this job for 9 months, was to be a carer and use your own car. You know, so you get around that. So this lady is using her own car, but she obviously doesn't have a clue how to drive in this country. So she's obviously not sat a test. So I don't know how long somebody, an international driver, you can drive here on an international driver's licence. Because where she comes from, it'll be Namibia or something. Where I quite like the idea of how they do things. They don't give a fuck, they just do whatever they want. But this is very strictly regimented, isn't it, the driving in this country? You know, I mean, look how bad it is. It's like, you can't do anything. You would drive really stupid speed limits and everything. It's quite, I suppose well, we're used to it because we drive here all the time, aren't we? So we know what we've got to do. But she doesn't. And it sounds like the driving test she's passed, if she's passed one, it's probably pay somebody to get a driver's licence out there. I know my brother-in-law was from Karachi, the first one, so he paid 50 rupees to get a licence, drove forwards and backwards, and that was that. And that's how they do it. Yeah, I would as well if I was you. Although it's a red light. So I mean, you got to ask yourself the responsibility. So they go doing these things because you can't get anybody in this country. Well, you can, but you can't easily get somebody in this country to work as a care worker. And the reason is, that I don't care about that single line. I think that's a bad idea, that. So I'm just going right over it. Right. The reason is the pay just isn't good enough, right? Otherwise, well, I'd be doing it, but I'm actually better off. Oh look. Oh, is that what they meant? Is that? The bypass is shut. Yeah. I thought the sign I seen said Winch, but I must have got that wrong. Edinburgh bypass is shut. So they can't get people like me, or just people that come from here, to do these care jobs. Because because it was a load of hassle. I quite enjoyed elements of it. I did quite like some of it. The money was, well, wasn't great. It was a load of hassle. It was long hours. It was mental torture with some of them. I wasn't really able to cope with the awkward ones. The ones that didn't like me, I've suffered from real bad anxiety with it. I suppose that's the word, anxiety. Just the confrontation and everything, and it was like a battle mode. You got in a battle mode. But I suppose you represented a lot when you were a carer. The anger and everything, frustration from a person is directed at you, but it could be the anger, frustration at society or the NHS or the doctor, or that they would send somebody like me around, you know. And obviously now it'd be even worse now. You've got somebody. Well, I'm not saying they're a bad carer, but certainly a bad driver. But and then so you get these schemes, so that they're importing people like that, essentially, so they could give them low wages, which for their standards it won't be low wages, I suppose, but from where they come from. But you know, they're not going to stick at that job, are they? It's quite obvious. They're going to use that to get a visa to come here into this country, and then they're going to probably leave it after about 6 months, I would think. Yeah. So that's the thing when they do that. If they get like 100 people, there'll only be like 2 or 3 of them will be worth it in the long run. So everything's short-sighted. Everything's politically driven, so it's short-sighted, isn't it? There's not really much thought goes into anything. That's what happens with the political landscape. Everything's short-sighted, and but I think that, would you agree that Fife Council in this case has a responsibility that lady is her driving's not fit. She's not fit to drive in this country. You know, she needs to be. I mean, they'd have to pay for it, wouldn't they? To give her driving lessons and pay for her to pass a driving test. It's not, you always get these dichotomies, don't you? So they're trying to discourage people from driving cars. You know, that the green communist thing. But at the same time, we need somebody to come and do care work. So that's where, in that situation, that lady will probably get preferential treatment when it comes to driving. If and when she does. But what the videos show, and the people, the comments and that, it doesn't look like her driving's really going to, it doesn't look like it's going to get any better, you know. It's like, fucking hell, it's mad. So we're nearly there, thank God. Just get to bed in a minute. I wasn't even going to video. I'm always like that though. It's like that guy that comments and who fucking cares? Well, he's right, really. Who fucking cares? I'm going to call this video Who Fucking Cares? Who effing cares? He's right. Who effing well cares? So that's pretty much a full video. I mean, the Alba Galavanta does full videos in buses. And he was way down to Galashiels, going over to Berwick or something. Oh, last time I read his post. It's bus spotting that's went mad. I quite fancy doing it myself, actually. I don't see the point in videoing a full route in a bus though. You know, I think I'd probably video, getting on it or something, or the bus itself, then maybe do a wee video, a couple of videos, and then maybe getting off it. Have a look. I'm more interested in the destination. Say you're going to Berwick, you get off at Berwick and have a look around Berwick and get back on the bus. That's more the sort of thing I would do. But it's just that thing. I've noticed a lot of really bad driving, and we're getting normal people are getting persecuted all the while with stupid driving all this stuff about where you can and can't go, and you get people like that who just get brought into the country and don't give a fuck about any of it. And in one way it's quite funny really, but no, it wouldn't be if you landed on an accident because of them, no. When you're driving down the 82 doing 70 mile an hour and somebody just stops, she's probably stopped to answer her phone or something. That's another thing about them, and this isn't a racist thing, that's an observation, the ones that I see. They're always on the phone, you know, like constantly on the phone. Talking to people on the phone, I mean. Oh wait a minute, I'm doing that now myself, aren't I? Is that another wee bit hypocritical, what I'm doing, what I'm saying? Aye, it is. It's a little bit hypocritical, isn't it? Alright. What's happening up here? Very quiet. There was a guy coming with he was quite a nice guy. He's not here, unfortunately, but I'm sure the last 2 weeks. Right, so thanks for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe, and we'll get you in the next video. Bye!